Hello. Welcome back to my lives. I'm Kathleen L., and I am a grief guide for parents who have lost a child suddenly and unexpectedly. I am just coming on the day after an American holiday called Thanksgiving, and I was just guided to share with you my experience of the holiday and really what was coming up for me. So, where you can feel like you're not alone. I so most of you know this, but my son took his life in 2010, and I've been on this healing journey for 12 plus years. And even though I've been on this healing journey for 12 plus years, yesterday brought up a lot of emotions for me, and I was just curious about it. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things that came up for me. So, where you're not alone, you feel that you're supported, that you're not different than most people in society, and you get to honor yourself. And so, just a quick video on honoring yourself, acknowledging that there's boxes that we put ourselves in, as well as society puts us in. And it just creates more isolation and separateness. And so, I just wanted to touch base with you about that. So, the holidays that we celebrate in society, I just want to just put this out there just for you to be curious about it and just start to think a little differently, or start to expand your thought process a little around holidays and what you feel about holidays and how you think holidays were created to begin with, and whether it's a Hallmark holiday or not. But I want to just start to get you to start thinking a little bit differently or a little broader. And for me, holidays have not always been exciting for me. Holidays, as a child, as a very young child, were explosive and didn't create joyous feelings for me. And that's not because anything was particularly bad. It just didn't create joyous feelings for me. And from there, after my children's dad and I completed our marriage, he moved south. And so he was like 1,500 miles away from our children. And so I made the conscious choice to share the holidays with him, so the children got to be part of their lives. They could each be part of the lives as well. And that created even more thoughts around holidays for me, because traditionally I was on my own during those days, and not with my children, I should say. So I share all of that because yesterday, I'm on the West Coast, my family's on the East Coast. I found myself feeling the emotions of society's separateness. We're a transient community now all around the world. We're transient. We're not with our families on a regular basis. And so it takes time and effort to join other people. But what I found myself being aware of is that there's a lot of people who are um, living on their own somewhere. There are people with mental illness. There are people who have lost their spouse as seniors. There are homeless. There are parents who have lost children who may be with family, but feeling very separate and isolated. And so I just want to add some thoughts around the holidays for you to be able to decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Holidays are a prescription that society expects us to show up in a certain way. We've got the Hallmark channels, we've got uh, churches and religions that celebrate certain holidays, which all of it comes from a space that humans created because they wanted to create a little fiefdom, a little community around the particular holiday. So they are showing up in the way they need to show up. I'm sharing that this is my perspective only. I'm not saying you have to agree or don't agree. I'm just trying to give you permission to start to see life a little differently. As a parent who's lost a child, I understand how hard it is to go through a holiday. It is not easy, especially when society seems to think that you're supposed to be over it, that you should have moved on by now, that there's some kind of box of expectation that you're supposed to be grieving and be over your grief by now, or that you should just show up and be happy that you've got family or be grateful for where you are. But what if we took away the labels and the expectations and the obligations of any particular day and just lived with the love and the joy and the connectedness that we are, that we decide to show up every day and be in the moment wherever you are with whoever you are and allow your emotions to flow through. Yesterday creates for a lot of people. If you stop and think, I'm sure you had a neighbor that was by themselves, but were they really by themselves? There's all kinds of questions. Why I'm bringing this up is because holidays brings up a lot of emotions. And if we were able, as parents who've lost a child, if we're able to see it as that's societal expectations, why is it that I have to fit in a box because that's what society says I have to do? When society as a whole doesn't understand what it's like to be living without your loved one during the holiday, and you get to choose. So these are a few things I want to share with you. Choose to celebrate every day as if it's the last moment of your life. Celebrate with the people, be kind to other people, be compassionate to yourself. Answer the phone when you want to answer the phone. Respond to text when it feels right to respond to the text. Be with your family for as long or as short or not at all if it doesn't feel right. You get to choose how you show up. And if you're honoring yourself, you ultimately will be honoring the relationships that you're in, because the energy in which, now this is important. I just had a session with one of my clients, and it's really important to say this. The energy in which you pick up that phone or answer a text is how people feel when you respond to them. They don't hear what you have to say, they feel your energy. So if you're doing something out of obligation or responsibility, the people in the world feel that. So only do it when it feels right for you, when it feels like, oh my gosh, this feels so good, I want to go here. Or I'm choosing to go and I want to spend a couple of hours with my family. I just want to share, just like, it's important for you to just take care of you. And then from that space of feeling like your cup is running over, you can share your joy and love in your presence with others. So there are no preconceived timelines with grief. When you've lost a child, you will be living with that experience for the rest of this lifetime. But you get to choose how you're going to live with it. You get to choose to work through your grief, to acknowledge and allow the emotions to flow without any judgment, without any obligation, and without any expectation. Be compassionate with yourself, be compassionate with others. And if you feel like someone is alone, reach out, but please don't do that because you feel sorry for them. Reach out to just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I love you. I had an immense amount of beautiful people that reached out to me yesterday. They were sharing their love with me. I felt their love, and yet I wasn't able to respond because in the moment, I wasn't feeling I was responding because I wanted to. I was going to respond out of obligation. So I chose to wait and respond when I felt like I was responding because I wanted to and share that deep love for them as well as for me. So I hope that this message is helpful to you. I would love to hear from you what you heard with this message and how you get to show up differently. And I'm curious from you, like, how will you show up differently? I have a 2-day retreat here in December for parents who have just recently lost a child. or for those who are stuck and not really sure where they're going or how they're going to manage, I have a 2-day retreat in December in Eugene, Oregon. It's in person, it's live. So just reach out to KathleenL.com and just look at the retreat page and you'll see that retreat. And the second retreat I really want to mention is the week-long retreat in Costa Rica in March. I have a week-long retreat. I have 4 spots left that are more than $1,000 off from the original price. And I would encourage you to take a look at that. That's for people who know there's just something more that you can gain from the experience that you've had, that there's some good that can come from the experience. Not that the experience has been good, not saying that. I'm just saying that there are people who may feel like there's just something more and they're just really not sure how you're going to get there. And I can promise you that this is an opportunity. It's more than $1,000 off, and there's only 4 spots left for that. So please reach out and connect with me at KathleenL.com and just hit the retreat page and you'll see the 2 retreats that are up there. I hope that you find this helpful. I love you all, and I'm sharing this because I just really feel that the boxes we put ourselves in causes more pain, causes more isolation, causes more separateness. And how about we release the boxes? How about we let go of the attachment to whatever box that we may think it is, whether it's a holiday, whether it's someone's sexuality, whether your whatever box you put yourself in. It doesn't matter what the box is. Release the box and allow yourself to feel your emotion, to show up with the joy that you are, the love that you are, the light that you are. And if you need help with that, I would love to help you with that. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you all. And just a quick hello to Lori Parks. Thank you for connecting. I see you. I hear you. And I look forward to talking with you all soon. Take care.